Welcome back to Minecraft. Today, I have a tutorial for all of you on the snowball-based mob farm. So, I guess we'll just get right into it since I've already showcased it. You're going to want to start by placing your AFK point. If you want the farm to be at the top of the world, you want your AFK point to be 305. That will align the top of the farm with Y320 at the top of the world. So if we go up to 305 here we have our AFK point. And our AFK point's actually 2 blocks wide because the farms are an even number, not an odd number. So there's your AFK point, and then once you have this, make sure there's no spawnable blocks within this area. 128 if you're above render distance 4. If you're render distance 4, it only needs to be 44 blocks away from any spawnable areas. But anyways, you want to count 15 blocks down from here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and then here is where the ice is going to be. Take some packed ice and just place 2 where you have the AFK spot. Alright, so we want to extend the ice 21 blocks in this direction. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. And you want to do the other side as well, and this will be where the Trident killer is, where the items get sent to the player. And then we also want to extend the ice 1 more block this way, and then put our soul sand in. And this will be where the item elevator is later. But let's focus on this end for now. So we're going to want to build up the Trident killer next. Alright, so at the end of our ice here, we want to build up a 6x4 platform. So it's going to go 3 blocks this way, 3 blocks this way, and then 3 blocks back. There's a 6x4. Then you're going to want to take some glass, or any block really. I'm just using glass for demonstration purposes, and encase the outside here. Ooh. Then you want to take water and put it in the corners. That'll flow that way. That'll be how all our items get sent. Alright, now we want to place in the start of our Trident killer. So we're going to put a fence here, and then 3 more this way. And then we want to take some slabs and put them upside down against the fence here. This is so the fence doesn't connect. And actually, you're going to need to put glass or a block the fence won't connect to along this wall as well. And then you want to take a block and put it back along here. And then right here is where all the minecarts are going to go, that the mobs will sit in when they're getting Trident killed. Alright, now what we want to do is place the trapdoors in. So we want to place some temporary blocks along here, and then place trapdoors against those blocks, like this, so they close like that. And then you're going to want to take another set of trapdoors and take a map first. Make sure you're facing left on the map, your little dots pointing left, and you take your trapdoor and you place them along the top like this, so they open this way. If you don't put the top trapdoors this way, it will not work. I don't know why, but it just doesn't. Next, you're going to want to put the minecart in. Get our minecart and rails here, and you just take a rail, put it right there, get a minecart, push it in. And you want to kind of try to be careful not to nudge the other minecarts while you're doing this. Keep them all aligned. Just make sure they're all pushed against the fence entirely. Cool. Alright, next we are going to want to build a ring out of trapdoors and slabs. So let me get some slabs here. And this is going to be to encase the water that is pushing the mobs into the minecart to be killed. So we put the slabs go here. They're going to be top slabs. And this is going to prevent the minecarts from being pushed this way. So slabs on both sides. And then you want to take your trapdoors and do the rest. The orientation of these ones doesn't matter. They're just to hold back water. Then you want to take a couple buckets of water and put them right there. That'll push the minecarts apart a little bit, but it's alright. They'll still get killed by the Tridents. And that's pretty much the Trident killer except for the clock and the Tridents. And for the clock, we're just going to want blocks along the top trapdoors back here. Then come 1 extra block. Then we're going to take a block, put it there. Take a comparator, put it in subtract. Put a couple blocks there. Boom. And there you have a comparator clock. And then just a quick test. Take a lever. Oop, connects on this side. There you go. Trapdoors are going. Alright, next we want to close up this area. So just come around and raise up all these walls. To the level of the trapdoors here. Alright, so now we're going to want to build up the chute that the mobs fall down. So you want to place some blocks above these trapdoors over here, and on top all of the slabs and trapdoors we placed earlier. So build that up to this height, and then that will be where the mobs fall in and get Trident killed. Alright, so the next thing we want to do is figure out the ice paths that the mobs will get pushed to here from. So we want to take ice, replace these 2 blocks, and then we want to go 17 more blocks. So 18 blocks in total. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Do the same thing on the other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So we have 18 blocks going both directions now. And now we're going to want to take some solid blocks under the ice here and extend this out to the end of the ice as well. Just like this. Same on the other side. Now what we want to do, place some blocks here. Get ourselves a fence gate. Put some open fence gates here. Build up these sides a little bit more. Once we have that built up, you want to take some pressure plates. And you want to put them every 3 blocks with water in between, like this. So pressure plate, 2 blocks, pressure plate, 2 blocks, and then water flowing towards the middle every time. This makes it so that the mobs can activate the snowballs that fire over, but they're also being pushed by the water at the same time. So we want to do that for this whole line. And there you go. And then you want to mirror that on the other side. Once you have that mirrored to the other side, you want to come over here and you want to go 3 more blocks out. 1, 2, 3. Place a temporary block there. And then you're going to want a dispenser on top of that. This is going to be where the snowballs are shot from. And then you're going to mirror that on the other side. Once you have that mirrored, we can do the wiring to make these fires. So take some redstone. Run it along these bottom blocks we just placed. And then you want to come off the side with a repeater 15 blocks away. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Here, I'm going to take a repeater, come off the side, put it right there. Alright, so now you're going to want to connect up this redstone to a clock for this observer. So we're going to want to put a piston right here, get an observer, put one looking up right here, one looking down right here. So when that piston extends, it'll make a clock that activates this dispenser. And then we just need to connect this redstone up to this piston. So we can do that. And then the reason this repeater is here is because, actually I did this wrong, do that. The reason this repeater is here is because the signal from the end wouldn't make it all the way, so we need to repeat that without sending it back and making an infinite loop. So we just come over to this block, connect it up with redstone, and there you go. Anytime anything stands on one of these pressure plates, this dispenser should start firing. And then you want to mirror that right on the other side as well. And I should also note you're going to want to put a slab on top of this block right here, or any other block to spawn-proof it. That goes for every solid block in the farm, because obviously you don't want any mobs spawning outside the farm. You want them all to be inside. Alright, so now we're going to want to build our wall up here one higher, taking care not to block off the dispenser, so we don't put any blocks here, only on the outside. And we just build up both these walls all the way along. And then you can actually place blocks here as well, along the back there. Alright, and then just continue building your wall. Alright, so once you have your wall built up to the second level here, next thing we're going to want to do is to start building the spawning platform. So mark the middle here, where your ice path is, and then you're going to want to go 19 blocks in either direction. If you don't feel like counting, it goes to the last pressure plate. Just like that. Oop, one too many. Lines up with the last pressure plate there. And then you're going to want to put a block here as well, so the snowballs have a one wide hole to go through. And then mirror the other side. We're also going to build up this front wall as we go. Alright, so our spawning platform is 42 wide and 10 deep. So we're going to want to come 9 blocks this way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 for a total of 10. And then just fill this all in. So once we have our 42 by 10 spawning platform built up here, we want to build our wall in the front up here 2 more blocks. Once you have that, you want to take some tripwire hooks and put them on the top block here. It should be 2 blocks above the ice. Now we're going to want to build up some walls around the outside here. So just make a 2 high wall, bring it back to the end of the ice here, and then do that on the other side as well. Once we have our tripwire and our wall built up, we want to come along the back here and place a row of non-spawnable blocks. I'm using glass here, but you could use leaves or any other non-spawnable block. And then we want to come up 2 blocks, and then this is going to be where our redstone starts, because this is going to be the other end of the tripwire hook. So if we come here, take some quartz, we want to go up 2 blocks, and then put a block there that will line up with the tripwire on that side. Then you want to put a tripwire hook on it. Then of course, extend that the whole way. So now we want to take our map again, as you can see here, make sure we're facing left on it, so we can get our orientation, and the button pattern actually matters, because mobs spawn on the corner of blocks in Bedrock Edition. So you can't, spawn proofing for spiders isn't quite as easy compared to Java. But with directionality you can figure it out. So you want to take your map, make sure you're pointed left and up, and this is the corner the button's going to go in. And then you want to take a button and put them in pattern like this, going out from there. So skip a block button, skip a block button. And you want to fill up this entire platform, and that'll just prevent all the spiders from spawning. And then on this row of glass here, you want to put all buttons, because this will block spiders spawning on this last row of blocks here. Alright, so once we have that done, we can start on the redstone for this. So we want to come 3 blocks, 2, 3, and a 4th. And then we want to come down, and then come back up. And then this is going to run the whole length. So build this out. Now we want to place some redstone on top of this block, but we want to count 15. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. And then we want to take a piston and put it right here. And then you want to put a repeater on top of that piston, like this. You want to extend another 15 and do the same. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Piston, repeater, and then that's all you need. The rest is powered. Now you want to take the block out in front of each of these pistons, and you want to put a redstone block in front of the piston. This just serves to repeat the signal without missing a block, because then we're going to put the dispensers on top of this block. And you want to have one even in the gap. Once we have that filled in with dispensers, you want to take some repeaters and place them in the trench here. So now we have this bottom part built up, we want to place some sticky pistons along the back of where the tripwire hooks are. Like so. And then you want to put an observer facing that way. 1 block above the dispenser. Then you want to have this going all the way. Once you have those going all the way, you want to take some and put them on the pistons. So when they're pushed together, it'll form a clock. There you go. Now you want to place some slabs on top of this, just to spawn-proof it. On top of the pistons and the observers here. Alright, then this first layer is almost done. We just have a couple more things to do. We need to put some blocks above the dispensers. And then we need to put string between all the tripwire hooks, which is going to take a while. Alright, once you have all the string placed in, you want to take 2 blocks and put them on the sides here, just to keep any mobs from walking out. And then that is your layer, right there. That is 1 layer of the spawning area. If you step in the tripwire, you should hear the piston extend and the dispenser start to fire. And that's exactly what happens. As you run along here, it'll fire all of them. Very cool. Looks like it's working. And then this line right here is the lock line. So if we power this, all the dispensers are locked. And if we walk here, nothing fires. The pistons go off, but the dispensers are unable to fire. Alright, now we're going to want to take a hopper and point it into each one of these dispensers. So each one can be fed snowballs. So once we have all those dispensers placed, that's all we're going to do for this level right now. The next thing you want to do is build up more levels like this. I have, I believe, 6 in that version over there. You could do whatever you want. I found 6 to be a good number though, so that's what we're going to go with here. So this observer right here is going to be the block that sits on top of for the next layer. So that's going to be where that goes, and then you just repeat everything. Up 3 blocks. Alright, so now that we have all 6 layers built up here, we can start working on the snowball distribution. So we're going to want to come back here and place blocks behind all the hoppers. Also, it should be noted you don't need half slabs on the top here, because this will be where the roof is later, but we'll get to that. Alright, so we want to add another block onto the end here at the bottom. Then we want to build up a small wall around it, like so. Go 4 blocks this direction, 1, 2, 3, 4, and put a sign on the end here. Now we want to put 3 glass panes, 1, 2, 3, right there, and then place water there. Perfect. Alright, so now the next thing you want to do is put glass panes along here for however long the water flows, which is 7 blocks. So you can place down your water, see how far it goes to there. And then you want to basically reverse it, just like we did there. Put the glass panes back there. Put a block. And then a sign right here. Then place the water in. And this will just keep it going continuously without missing any hoppers. And you want to repeat that pattern a few more times of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 glass panes, and then 3 solid blocks. Just place water. And if you did everything right, all the water should be flowing in the same direction. It might look a little weird on the corners sometimes, but that's just a visual glitch. It's working fine. And there it is. So then we just need to do that for the rest of these layers. And you want to have a little wall here, because this one will be flowing the opposite direction. Items will drop in, they'll go along that way. And each layer is reversed. So with this layer, we're going to come on the end here. Place blocks, 1, 2, 3, 4. Sign on the end. Just exactly the same thing we did at the other end, but reversed. Come with our glass panes, 1, 2, 3. There you go, you can put your water in here. And then continue the pattern for the rest of these 2 layers. Alright, so once we have this whole thing built up to this point, we can start working on the first set of snowmen here. And before we do that, we need to align the items properly. So we're going to take some ice. Actually, packed ice, I don't know where that came from. We want to take some ice and put 2 blocks of ice, 3 blocks of ice right along there. You want to take a cake. We're aligning the items with cake. So you put the cake here. Oh, don't do that. Put blocks around it. Put a sign right here. And then you waterlog the cake. Oh, don't eat the cake. Shift click it. And then when you flush items into the side from this direction, they'll be pushed against the cake, and then they'll be aligned in the middle to flow through both the water and over the hopper. So now what we want to do is make sort of a box with the ice. So we go 3 blocks this way, 1, 2, 3. 3 blocks this way, 1, 2, 3. And then 3 blocks this way, 1, 2, 3. And then the snowmen will be above here. The snow will fall down and get flushed over. So to make that happen, we need to get some water streams going over here. Sign here, and water there. That'll flush it into the cake. Then you just want to build up walls around the rest of this so the water doesn't spill out. So now we can start working on the actual snowmaker. I showed this in the last video, but I'll go over it again, just in case you missed that. I'm going to put water there. That'll flow all the way to there. And then we want 4 blocks. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right there. This will be where the snowmen are standing. They'll be making snow on those 4 blocks. We want to get some upside down slabs. Put them there. And then we want our sticky piston. We're going to want 4 of those behind these slabs to pull them out. Then we're going to want to take some normal pistons, not sticky, to push the snow that generates on these blocks. So we want to do that, place it that way, and there you go. That's all the pistons. Now we want to get the snowmen in. So the way we do that is we center them with glass panes. So we make sure they make snow on all 4 blocks. So let's get all our snow, pumpkins. And obviously you want to trap these guys in here so they don't run away. So just while you're setting it up here, build some temporary blocks around the outside so the snowmen stay put. So now what we want to do, put some temporary blocks in there. Maybe put a roof on in case it's raining. Don't want the snowmen to die. Then what you want to do is build the snowman, push him into that corner, and very quickly seal him in with a glass pane. Like so. So now he's stuck in between those 4 glass panes, and he'll always make snow on these 4 blocks. Then we just do that again over here. There we go. Now we have 2 trapped snowmen. They cannot go anywhere, and they will always make the snow we want. So now we want to remove some of these temporary blocks, and we want to have some solid blocks above the pistons here to power them. You want some redstone on top of those. Now we want to extend the redstone line. Bring it here, put a repeater on 2 ticks, and then just run some redstone down on top of these pistons, like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we want glass blocks above the slabs. Then we can put a block there, connect it up. Alright, so now we want to set up the clock that'll power this. So we want a block there with redstone on top of it, block there, comparator right here. In subtract mode, we want 4 blocks there with a repeater there. Bring it around like that, and there is your clock. You just put a block behind the repeater. We're going to leave that there for now until we're linking everything up later. So the next thing we want to do is continue the water streams and then build another identical snowman chamber feeding into the top layer here. And something to note for the water streams here is that this first one will be exactly the same as the one below it. It won't be reversed because we want the snowballs to flow over to here, and then when they fall down, we want them to fall down to this level here, just with this one. So it's going to be exactly the same as the one below it, just with blocks and glass pane here instead of the cake. Oh, and I forgot to mention, slabs on top of all the solid blocks. Keep it spawn-proofed as you go. Alright, so once you have the snowman doubled and all the water stream doubled, you want to connect everything up so it can actually work, right? So we want to come 1 block off the end of the ice here, put a block here, and then we'll bring it 2 more blocks out. Then we're going to need redstone. Then we're going to want a piston on the end here, like that. 3 slime blocks, then a redstone block, then a glazed terracotta right there with a repeater facing that way. That will power the Trident killer clock eventually. Then on this side of it, we want another glazed terracotta, another repeater. After this repeater here, you want to put another line of blocks extending all the way to here. And then you want a block at the level of this piston with a repeater going into it. Actually, that doesn't need to be a repeater. I lied. Piston there. And we want slime blocks on top of that. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and then 12, a redstone block there. That should be a push limit, and it should be right at the level of this, so we could put a glazed terracotta and a redstone there. So when this pushes up, this one will get activated. On top of this redstone block, we want another piston to keep going up. But before we do that, we want to set up the line to power the clock down here. So coming off of here, a repeater to get the signal out of there. redstone there, another redstone here, a torch on the side, one piece of redstone dust there, a block down below here with another redstone dust, and a torch on the side of this block. Alright, and then in front of this redstone here, we want to place one piston, and then in front of the torch, we want to place another. Now we want to come along the side here and put a redstone block in front of all of these pieces of redstone. This will lock every single dispenser, because that's the state it's in right now. The machine's switched off, so all the dispensers should be locked. So off this sticky piston, we want to place 1, 2, 3, connect to that one. And then we want to come down, just connect to the other two like that. And if we look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We were below push limit. And then we want to do a very similar thing with up here. So slime block, and we want to connect it there so that when this comes, we actually want to connect it there because it'll pull down and it will not move anything with the slime. And then we can just come up the side again. And then we want to put one underneath here so it doesn't stick to the slime. And then we'll have to replace this right here and a few others with glazed terracotta wherever the slime touches the edge here. So you want to do that. This one. This one's alright. This one needs to be glazed. This one's alright. And this one's alright. So the third one up and the top two needs to be glazed terracotta. The rest can be normal blocks. Alright, so now we want to continue this line up and connect it to the top snowmaker as well. So we want to put slime blocks on top of here. And a redstone block as well. And then we can just do something as simple as block, redstone. When that gets pushed up, it'll power the clock. Actually, coming back to the snowmen here real quick, I made a mistake. We need to push the glass blocks in here. So we want to get a piston. Doesn't matter which kind. Actually, it does. You want a normal piston, not a sticky piston. And you want to put 4 pistons along this side here. These are going to be temporary. You want to break these 4 blocks. You want to take a button. And you want to break this glass pane and then immediately push this block into its place. So boop, boop. And then you want to do the same for all these. Boop, boop. Just like that. And this just locks the snowmen in place solid so they can never fall out for certain. They're 100% stuck there. And then you want to do that for the bottom layer as well. This gives extra security snowmen-wise. Alright, so now once all your snowmen are fixed up, make sure they have a good roof over them so they'll never get killed by rain, and we can go back to the redstone over here. Alright, now that we have all this wired up, let's give it a shot. Let's see if we're making snow and the hoppers or the dispensers unlock and everything. Alright, looks like we're making snow. You can see we missed a block here and here. Everything looks like it's working. Ah, we forgot a block right here. There we go. Then everything unlocked. So now, if we try, we should get some snowballs. Yeah, look at that. Very cool. And it's always good to do tests like that before so you can see if there's any snowballs getting out. I saw there was some getting out over here, so we'll just add some more glass to keep them sealed in a little better. Yep, you can see some right there. Just add some extra glass along here. And that should do it. Alright, now we want to come down here and hook up our Trident killer. So this is going to be a real simple redstone line. Coming all the way over to here. Going to put a redstone down here. Another one there. Throw a repeater in. Then just connect it up with some redstone. And now if we power this line, we should see, yep, trapdoors going nuts. Alright, so now what we want to do is continue our ice line from there around to here and around to the other dispenser, so the bottom gets fed snowballs as well. So down here, we want to make a water stream, right? So you want to make a pocket of glass like that on the side there, and then you want to start your ice right here. And then we want to seal that in. Now to figure out how far this needs to go out, we can simply put a hopper on the side of this, run this glass back here until it finds the corner with this, and then that'll be where you run your ice. The reason we have this little pocket here is because the items coming down are center aligned. So if we just tried to drop them into this water stream, they'd get stuck on this block. But with this, we can do that, and all the items will get flushed straight down. And then you just want to continue this water stream all the way down this way until you get to here. Take a slab. Just keep the water stream moving like this. Then when you get to here, you want to come around. Be careful with the water that it doesn't break any of your redstone. And you want to run it along the front here then. We can just go right here. Run it all the way over to this other dispenser. At which point we can put a hopper going in there. And then we need walls. And also we want to seal in the top of that chamber there as well. So you just want to build up walls all the way back around. Then once we have all that filled in, we can take water, put it here, and then just do the same thing. Keep it going whenever it stops. Get it all the way down to the other hopper. And there we go. And then from here, we just make a small tube. Bring it down a few blocks. I'd say to the height of this block right here. We'll build the whole tube down. No block there, of course. Bring it all down like that, and then just put some lava in the bottom here. And this is where the snowballs that make it over every hopper without getting picked up will just get burned. Because if we just let them sit there, they'd accumulate lag over time. There we go. So that is the redstone and the water streams done. So at this point, I'd give it a test. I'd come down here to this line, just place a redstone block here. Then just look around at everything, see if you can see anything going wrong. There's a lot that can go wrong with this system. It's a little more complicated than your bog standard mob farm. So watch the snowballs, make sure they're flowing right. It's going to take quite a while for them to fill up all the hoppers, so you might just want to sit here for a while with it running before you even put the roof on or anything. But yeah, so this will fill up with snowballs completely over time, and then they'll fall down here. And as far as I can tell, everything's working correctly. Make sure all of these unlocked right. Looks like they did. Yep. Everything's unlocked. And the trapdoors are going. Very good. So for the roof of this thing, you're going to want to go to your AFK spot, line up with this ice path here to find the middle, place 2 blocks here, and then you want to build 13 blocks out this way, including these. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. There you go. So now, the whole roof is going to be 38 by 68. So for this one, you're going to want to go 33 blocks in either direction, and that'll give you a width of 68 in the end. So go count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 30, 31, 32, 33. That should be 33, and then you want to mirror that on the other side. There's 33 blocks on either side. Now, it's 68 blocks wide. We need to make it 38 blocks deep. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 35, 36, 37, 38. That should be your roof. So now you just want to fill in this whole square here. And it doesn't have to be stained glass. Or tinted glass. Yeah, tinted glass. That's way overkill. You could just do cobblestone. When you get to this part of the roof, around the snowman. You might need to replace some of the blocks if you use glass for the water stream with non-transparent, non-light passing blocks like these, just to make sure the light doesn't get through. And then if you see there's still light after you get the roof all built, you can go back and replace a few more blocks with opaque blocks. Or you could just build this all completely out of not glass in the first place, which would be the easiest thing to do, but it wouldn't look as cool in my opinion. Alright, so once your roof's done, you actually want to fix something, because I made an oversight earlier. This right here will not be slime. This should be sand, because slime is a transparent block, and the light can go down through. But it's an easy fix. Oop, you throw your sand on the ground. No. Replace that with sand, coming up here. Then just place a redstone block right there, with a normal block right here, and a repeater. And then when that sand is pushed up, it'll do the same thing as a redstone block. And there we go. You can see there's no light getting in now. The spawning area is completely dark. At this point, the farm is almost completely functioning. We just need to extend the water stream, extend the line to turn it on, and put the tridents in, and then we can give it a test. Just gonna build walls up first, put slabs in, put water. Need at least 2 blocks to flow into the bubble. Then we're just gonna have a 2 wide bubble column here. And I should note that not all the XP gets through. The Trident Killer design I'm using by Silent Whisperer, he notes in the video that it's not 100%, it misses sometimes, and it's just a quirk of how XP sometimes doesn't get pushed by water. I don't really know why that is, but yeah, you should not expect all the experience from this farm. It's mainly for the drops. Alright, so once you get it up to here, you want to put some pressure plates. Because pressure plates hold back water. You want to put them right there, go a couple blocks up, and then you want trapdoors on those blocks, because they also hold back water. And this will just allow the player to pick up all the XP that's flowing through the water while they're standing at the AFK spot. And then we can start our water stream here. And then that's where your items would flow over. So you could just put a line of item filters here for any items you want from the farm. But for this water here, what you're going to want to do, imagine you'd have all your item filters here. But for now, I'm just going to put a fence gate so the water doesn't flow over. You want to block these 2 blocks here, then place your water, and then break them so it flows over like that. And then you just make this bubble column like normal here, and there you go. All the items will come right up to the top here, get flushed over, player can pick up the experience here. So now we want to run the redstone line over to us. And this is another thing where it doesn't really matter how you do it. Just make sure your 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Make sure your power doesn't go more than 15, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. And just put a block, and yeah, it's a pretty straightforward redstone line, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Another repeater. Keep the line going. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then from here, it's simple as a sticky piston, some slime blocks on it with a lever. So we're probably just going to put that there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And we can just bring this up 1. Actually, we don't even need to bring it up 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Alright, so now this line should be linked up to that. But before we test, don't forget your spawn proofing. It's very important. Spawn proof every block that something could spawn on. And then we should be good to put the Tridents in and give it a test. Alright, so now we want to take our Tridents. If you don't have Tridents with Impaling 5, that's fine. The farm will just be a little slower, but ideally, you want your Tridents to have Impaling 5. Then you come in here. You want to throw the Trident. I made another mistake. So here's what you want to do. You want to replace these fence gates with signs, because the fence gate will get in the way when you're trying to throw the Trident. The same thing, just different item. Alright, so the way you want to throw these is look at the block, charge up, then look down at here, look about there on the pressure plate, and throw. Nothing to it. Just do that for all 4 of these. Be careful not to break the minecart, because it can be a bit of a pain to reset it if you break the minecarts. There we go. Just put a lever there, push down. And it looks like, yep, if they're making that sound, that means it's working. So I believe we are ready to fill this thing up with snowballs and give it a test. But like I said earlier, it takes quite a while to fill it up with snowballs. So I'm going to turn it on and let it go for a while until all the dispensers are full. Once it's full, you only have to do this the first time. It'll keep itself full for the duration of its lifetime. Also important to note that these snowmakers can break if you unload the area and come back. The pistons can get out of sync with each other and then the snow won't fall down. So just make sure you keep the area loaded the whole time this is running. Otherwise you could crash your game from too many snowballs staying in one spot. One last little detail here, make sure you slab up the top of these, because mobs can spawn there. Alright, it looks like we have filled up the whole thing. Let's see if the snowballs are making it around here. Oh, they're filling up that one. But very soon it'll be completely full. We can just help it along a little bit here. Oh no, this one's getting... Okay. Let's do our first test then. Let's see if we get mobs. Alright, now we just do... I've been in peaceful this whole time, so if we just go to hard... Let's see if we get some spawns. Oh, I turned the mob farm off. Duh. We want it to be on. There we go. And look at that. It seems to be working. Let's get our looting sword out so we're getting the looting effect from the tridents. There we go. Everything seems to be in order. Trident killers are working. Loot's coming up. I would say this is a success. Alright, one more thing to note here. If you were to be filling this in survival, where you couldn't change the game mode to peaceful, you would want to lock all the dispensers while you're filling it. So you'd want to come over to these redstone blocks and just power all these lines so that it wasn't constantly trying to shoot mobs off while it was trying to fill up. It'll just fill up a lot quicker that way. But other than that, I think that is everything. So I will link to Silent Whisperer's tutorial on the Trident Killer, as well as a material list in the description for everything you'll need to build this farm if you want to build it up in your survival world. And I'll also link to the other video in case you're curious about rates or the concept or anything like that. But anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it was useful, and take care.